So I got some pretty awful news to share, terrible news. And it's about a problem that we found out about today. Michelle was reading text messages and came across the story, and it's a real life story. It's actually happening right now, and it's no one's safe, no one is immune. And this is part of the reason why we have such a reserve when it comes to potentially getting involved in real estate, potentially being homeowners. Well, it finally happened. It finally happened, and I'm that damn 2-liter, that damn 2-liter.
That's what a Toyota sounds like.
It finally happened, and sad to say, I've seen this actually happen to some other folks, but this was one of the concerns I had, and one of the reasons why we have held back from getting into buying a house. And now, granted, there's some changes happening, specifically in, I believe, Colorado. And Colorado is going to be experiencing a 400% increase in the cost of living for homeowners, small-time investors, landlords, those engaging in Airbnb, short-term rental scenarios, which means that the cost of living, the affordable housing crisis is only going to get worse with this new development, this new introduction of this increased tax. So it's only getting worse, folks. As you guys can see here, the latest from CBS News, new bill to be introduced in Colorado that would increase property taxes by 4 times the current value. But wait, there's more, because it's only getting worse. As we see here, Ukraine refugees fleeing or have fled from Ukraine and moved to Colorado, saying that starting over has been the biggest challenge of their lives. They look pretty happy to me. I wonder if they still get a stipend from the government, from the Biden administration, having been Ukrainian refugees involved in this conflict between Ukraine and Russia. But they're living a life up in Colorado. It's legal to smoke weed in Colorado, right? Colorado, sorry. I pronounce it wrong every time. And I know that investing in real estate or buying a home is going to be far better in the long run than renting. I get it. And, you know, you guys are a constant and steady reminder that we're throwing money away every single month because let's just be frank, let's be quite honest here. We can't afford to buy a house. Maybe we need to really sit down and buckle down and look at our finances and our budget and get our priorities in order. But there's so many things. It's like, well, where do you focus first? Is the focus on a house? Is the focus on saving money in case you lose your job? Because so many YouTubers are quitting YouTube. It's got me worried and got me kind of panicked. You know, anxiety levels are high, thinking, well, could I be next? You know, and the amount of comments that I receive on some of my videos with people telling me that they wish that I'd drop dead and just stop making videos. It's like, man. But what I'm trying to do is keep these videos short and sweet, to the point, maybe keep them under 8 minutes, and try to appease the masses, not necessarily change my conversation or give into this ridiculous narrative that they want everybody to buy into with the Biden administration and World Economic Forum and this climate change nonsense. But it's like, what do you focus on first? And then it's like, well, if you got these chicken plants that are catching on fire, we got water that we can't drink, we got, you know, all the key warning signs and indicators that we're going to have a big problem here soon kind of got me thinking, man, maybe we should just bug out. Maybe we should just go the homeschool route, pack it up, sell everything, pack it up, live out of the van for a little bit, and you know, just unplug for a little bit, unplug for a little while until the whole thing blows over. But easier said than done, right? I know a lot of folks are not necessarily extremely mobile. They are on a fixed income. Times are tough. They have been. I don't know if they've known a time where times haven't been tough. You got, you know, generations, younger generations coming back home to live with their parents because of how challenging the economy is and the job market is, and people losing their jobs and getting laid off. And it's a struggle right now. We can't argue that. We can't deny it. And then you never know which way to look or turn, or really who to believe, because the information that we're getting fed to us by mainstream legacy media, it's like, can you really trust it? Can you really trust what they're saying? And what are they not saying? That's probably more important. But we're being distracted right now with the situation with the migrants, the migrant problem. Migrants having more rights and a better opportunity at the American dream than actual Americans. And this is a nationwide problem, and most focused on, heavily concentrated in these sanctuary cities: New York City, Chicago, Denver. You guys know what I'm talking about. Walmart's pulling out, closing stores. Walmart, another shooting at Walmart. It's like, I don't even know if I would ever want to shop at Walmart. It's too dangerous. It's too scary. I just read about another Walmart in Texas. You know, Texas has got a lot going on. Texas is big in the news right now. And Las Cruces, I think it's Las Cruces, Texas, a bomb threat. They evacuated the Walmart because of a bomb threat. You know, we had a school shooting threat for the entire state of Florida yesterday. Unreal. Michelle just was reading this message that she got about the high school being on lockdown.
I just sent the kid a text.
And did some investigating, and found out something very interesting. And it's funny because it's not funny, because it's not, but it's ironic because about an hour ago we were having the same conversation in a different in regard to YouTube. And I think in this conversation, Michelle asked me, she says, well, why would anybody do that? I said, because there's evil people in the world, and this is what they enjoy. Trying to disturb and ruin other people's lives. That brings them joy, maybe. So Michelle was reading a comment on one of her videos that she just put up, and the comment said, you know, I like you and you bring great information, but I'm so over the clickbait. And I got to tell you guys, I think that the term clickbait and the extreme use of the term, much like another term being, what was that term? Drivel. There was a certain term. It's like when people do these things, they leave these clues, they leave these tells, these hints, so that they can get caught. It's essentially what criminals really want more than anything, is to get caught. Really kind of strange how that works. I guess it's just part of their narcissist behavior. And they're like dead giveaways to me. Who uses the word drivel in, you know, typical, normal, everyday conversation? Not many people. And to see comments come through continuously using this with different profile pictures, which now they have the ability to randomize their profile pictures and actually change them from the same comment, because I've seen it happen.
Same.
It's the whole goal, in my opinion, is to deter creators from creating. Whether you engaged in nefarious clickbait or egregious clickbait or not, every title and thumbnail is clickbait. Let's understand that. Even the videos that I've seen that don't have titles, which I don't know how they pulled that off, is still clickbait because you're baiting people into clicking. Curiosity, and intrigue. But then I received a comment on a video I put up this morning about how YouTube changed my life with less than 500 subscribers. And the comment wasn't specific. It was very generic. It was very vague and broad. And it said something to the effect of, how could you say something like that and telling people that they can get an 800 credit score if they do this, that, and the other, because I pay my bills and I don't have an 800 credit score. Now, maybe this person could just be batshit crazy, because I've seen instances of that. I got a buddy, he gets text messages from people way out there. And there's some people that just, they're not fully connected. And, you know, the synapses are not firing properly. So maybe that could have been the case, but I'm leaning more towards it was a bot. I discussed something, I created a video outside of the norm, and it triggered the bot to deliver this comment for whatever reason it may be. And I understand that, I identify that. I ignore it, I go on about my day, I move on. But then this message or this threat of a school shooting, come to find out, it was a spam. And apparently they sent this to every school in Florida.
Every public school in the state of Florida.
Every public school in the state of Florida, they sent this email to. It's spam. It's a bot. It's created with the sole purpose and intent to disrupt normalcy and introduce fear and worry and panic and anxiety for no reason. I mean, granted, maybe something could happen, but I don't think anything did happen today in any Florida public school. And somebody was like, "Oh, this will be funny. Let's just disrupt everybody's lives and make them fear for their lives by sending this mass email out to every school."
I'm trying to find any more on it while we're driving.
So they identified it as spam, but they said they're not taking it lightly, and you know, they take every claim, every threat seriously. But it's one and the same. It's, you know, some folks out there who just ain't right, who want to see ultimate demise. They, you know, they got somebody did them wrong. They got a chip on their shoulder. You know, they hate themselves. They hate life. They hate whatever, and they want everybody to be as miserable as they are. You know, forget trying to not be miserable. No, let's make everybody else as miserable. Which, if you think about it, if you convince the majority of people to be miserable, well, shit, all hell would break loose. There's some people out there that you probably don't want to push over that edge.
No, yeah. That's
you know,
you
know, there's some folks out there that are armed to the teeth that you probably don't want to make extremely miserable and feel like there's nothing worth pushing on for. As you provoke, you know, you poke the bear.
mess with the bull, you get the horn.
Yeah. You know, and it's like you don't realize it. You know, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. That's one of the old sayings.
Yeah.
And I could see that. I could see that really happening. You know, some people just get so. Some people out there, and it's like these calm, very calm people, and they just keep getting pushed and pushed and pushed and poked, and then they snap. And people are like, "Oh my God, I didn't think he would do that." And yeah, they snap.
Well, it's like what I talked about on my video today about Walmart. The guy who went in there and, you know, took a gun in and went off, and an employee was hurt. People just lose their minds.
And that might have been one of the people who got pushed. Got pushed and pushed and pushed. And you didn't push him, but you're the one who snapped, who made him snap. you know, because of other people out here. Think about it, like the severity of the challenges that could be felt by creators who are already seeing a decline in the platform, and then seeing so many talks of others quitting, just further, you know, confirming this bias, and then receiving mean and hateful comments, and then clickbait or spam bots in the comments with carefully curated psychological triggers to try to get under the skin of these people that, you know, they're just trying to do a good thing, just trying to share something with the world, trying to make a living, not realizing that this is all a game against them. And then finally they snap. You know, and maybe they snap on themselves, maybe they snap on somebody else. I remember there's a story of a guy, and he lost a lot of money in some trade. He was doing some trade, or his crypto or whatever it was, not too long ago, a year or two ago, maybe 3. And he made a lot of money, and then something happened. He lost more than he made. He lost more than he had, because that's possible if you're getting involved in options trading and different things like that. He lost more than he had, and then he just killed himself. He left a note for his parents, and he's like, "Yep, I'm ruined, I'm done." He killed himself. And you know, also I think some people do it after some sort of prank or teasing or anything like that. The social impact on people's mental health is crazy. For instance, like the lady
right in front of us right now, he's losing his mind while trying to drive. Yeah,
I mean, he's got R panel on the back of his truck, just driving like a maniac. You might want to just chill out there, guy.
Yeah.
So the lady in Tybee, I think she's in Tybee, and she got caught masturbating on the beach. And that wasn't what did it, but the social impact after that, she couldn't take it anymore, and then she unalived herself. So these are instances of people snapping on themselves, but I could see some people snapping on others because of these evil doers out there that just want to see. It's like we watch these movies like Mission Impossible and things like that, and it's like, well, what is the goal of the villain doing these different things, the Syndicate or whoever it is? And it's to cause disruptions in society and chaos, and get us fighting amongst each other, you know, pulling the attention and distracting away from them. And then when they strike, we are weaker because we've already blown through most of our defenses. We don't trust each other. We're not
exploded from within.
Yeah. So I believe it. I believe that it's real. I also believe a lot of these things are fake. I believe that, you know, it's unfortunately it's only going to get worse. And I wanted to share that with you guys. But not to get too distracted, not to get too sidetracked here. The situation at hand is, in fact, with Florida and the homeowners insurance crisis, and actually having received a family member with calling today asking, what do I do? Where do I go from here? Because I just received a non-renewal notice on my insurance. Non-renewal, okay? Non-renewal, and what this means, what this boils down to, is that the cost is going to be great. Now, this cost may come in the form of being self-insured and carrying the burden and the risk on your own shoulders. That cost could come in the form of paying an extremely high premium for a less than desirable insurance company willing to write the policy and then farm that out to their reinsurance company that's raising their rates, all at a time where consumers are already tight. 50% of Americans don't have $500 in savings. 80% of Americans don't even have $5,000 in savings and don't even know how to get it. Some folks never ever having had $5,000 in savings. So if a $1,000 emergency pops up, the statistics are grim. The reality is tragic, and that is that the likelihood that that emergency could be covered is probably not good. Probably not good. All signs point to no, you're not going to have the funds available, and good luck trying to count on a credit card to bail you out of that jam. Now, the situation is the insurance company, from what I've been told, and yeah, you know what won't need a roof is our van. Maybe we're gonna move into the van. Maybe y'all want to see a tour of the van? Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see a tour of the van. Just drop in the comments, just put van life and let me know if you guys are interested. Van life tour or van or whatever, it doesn't matter. But the situation with the insurance company is that, and it's not a Florida insurance company, it's a different state, but the same rules apply. So this could happen to you. This could happen to anybody who owns a home. It could happen to anybody who rents a home from a homeowner, a landlord, small business that's getting stuck with these ridiculous non-renewals and premium spikes and adjustments and assessments and demands. And what it boils down to is they're concerned about the roof. And the reason being is because of the age of the home. Now, I don't think the insurance company is well aware that the roof is probably, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years old. Like, it's not very old in consideration. You know, it's a 25, 30-year roof. So you're looking at it being, you know, 15 to 20, 25% into its life cycle. Not a big deal, not a huge concern. No claims ever on the property, but you guys know as well as I do, you claim on your insurance, they're gonna drop you, okay? So don't do that. I mean, I'm not saying what you shouldn't do, I'm just saying I wouldn't do it. But not unless it's a crazy catastrophic loss, hundreds of thousands of dollars. But again, if you have enough to pay your deductible, which some people don't, they don't have enough money to pay their deductible, so they find themselves in a bind. But the situation is that depending on the severity, we're looking at a, I don't know, $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 roof replacement. Who's got that kind of money right now? Who's got that kind of money to shell out right now for a new roof? You know? And can you get on the schedule with a reputable roofing contractor and receive materials and get the work done in time before your insurance gets lapsed and you're sitting there unprotected, completely exposed and vulnerable? Now, I'm not saying that this is entirely keeping me and Michelle and I away from becoming homeowners and securing our future and preventing us from throwing away money in rent and having land where we can start a homestead and start growing our own food and preparing as best we can. But it's definitely a contributing factor. It's definitely a consideration. But as well, for those folks out there who this just ain't in the cards, well, we have to discuss and identify ways that we can do the best we can with the situations that we have, knowing that we all aren't necessarily on, you know, acres of land and capable of planting and harvesting and growing our own food. We gotta formulate our own plan. But still, the threat remains, and that threat is a financial threat. And if you guys haven't already, go click the links in the description down below. Please click the links to the channels. I got my backup channels. I think YouTube's gonna delete this channel at some point because they don't like what I'm talking about. And you guys know what I mean. You guys you know what I'm talking about. And so if you would, subscribe to those channels before this one gets deleted. And I'm gonna start posting over there soon. But also, I got free links in the description to personal finance guides and 2024 planning and strategy guides to get better prepared. I just wanna help everybody. And so, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Stay safe, stay smart. Watch your six, keep your head on a swivel. And most importantly, stay frosty, friends. And I'll see you guys on the next one.